Merci, Madame.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Good afternoon, Commissioner, and good afternoon to Council. I don't think that France can be a bridge between Germany and Italy, but there is a role that we can play in terms of the exchange between the two countries that I'd like to insist on. The heads of state and government have taken a decision to hand over these powers for supervision to the ECB, and that's very important. The Commission underlined this, and it's very important to say that they did very quick, speedy work, but the fundamental choice that has been made wasn't an obvious or evident choice. The idea was then to hand over all banking supervision to the ECB, but in a democracy this kind of role should be subject to democratic scrutiny, but they handed it over to an institution that has very strong credibility, a great deal of authority when it comes to economic or monetary and financial policy, but which to date was completely independent. So this is the sort of circle in which we're operating, but I just want to say that I think good work's been done. The rapporteurs were very diligent and did everything in the best interests, I think. But I have just one concern. This is one choice that's been made now, but other choices could have been made too, perhaps more in line with the spirit of the internal markets. And now we've got this debate on our hands, but what are the conditions that have to be properly thrashed out before we can really give the green light to this text? Well, first of all, we have got to, within the ECB, find a way of organizing things so that we can make sure that the monetary activities on the one hand are properly separated from the financial activities on the other. And I think this is doable, but we shouldn't attach too much importance to what's been said in one meeting. I don't think the ECB is really moving off course here. Secondly, we must make sure we don't further weaken the power of the European banking authorities. Sven Giegold said this. I think it's a bit of a pity that in an area where we've got the internal market, we've now introduced voting procedures which create clusters between certain states, and I have to say that we shouldn't go any further when it comes to compromises to certain banks, bringing into play Eurozone area countries and non-Eurozone area countries. But the thing is, things get a bit vague and unclear, but overall I think we have made a big step in the right direction. I'd like to congratulate everybody for getting to this stage, because we started this call for more supervision in 2010, but we have to be a little bit careful in the European Union, because we're damaging confidence with some of the things we're asking for, and that's something we must